can't believe I let you in and told you all my deepest secrets. You told me I'm expensive, but you treated me the cheapest. Thank God you let me go. I didn't know how much I needed this. I almost settled for you. Thank God you do what you do. And now your colors are true. Took me a while, but I knew I'm so disgusted with you. To think I settled for you. Thank God you do what you do. And now your colors are true. Took me a while, but I grew. And I'm so disgusted with you. You. Thank God I dodged a bullet, not an arrow shot by Cupid. You really had me thinking I was dumb, naive and stupid. I'm done with these excuses. You'll never pull me through this again. Almost settled for you. Thank God you do what you do. And now your colors are true. Took me a while, but I knew I'm so disgusted with you. To think I settled for you. Thank God you do what you do. And now your colors are true. Took me a while, but I grew. I'm so disgusted with you. There's no discussion, no discussion with you. I'm so disgusted, so disgusted with you. There's no discussion, no discussion with you. I'm so disgusted, so disgusted. Get my Bible reading on ready. All right. Let's get a word in the word. Acts 20 verses 1 through 16. Judges 13 and Job 41. Acts 20 verse 1 through 16. Good morning. Stay blessed. Stay blessed. Paul goes to Macedonia and Greece. When it was all over, Paul sent for the believers and encouraged them. Then he said goodbye and left for Macedonia. Along the way, sorry, Max. Had my dog trapped up. Along the way, where I stopped at? Along the way, he encouraged the believers in all the towns he passed through. Then he traveled down to Greece, where he stayed for 3 months. He was preparing to sail back to Syria when he discovered a plot by some Jews against his life, so he decided to return through Macedonia. Several men were traveling with him. They were Sopater of Berea, son of Phasaelus, Aristarchus, and Secundus from Thessalonica, Gasius from Deber, Timothy, Tysius, and Trophimus. I butchered those names, but who were from the province of Asia. They went ahead and waited for us at Troas. Soon as the Passover season ended and we boarded a ship at Philippi in Macedonia, and 5 days later, we arrived at Troas, where we stayed a week. Paul's final visit to Troas. On the first day of the week, we gathered to observe the Lord's Supper. Paul was preaching, and since he was leaving the next day, he talked until midnight. Upstairs, the room where we met was lit with many flickering lamps. As Paul spoke on and on, a young man named Eutychus, sitting on the windowsill, became very drowsy. Finally, he sank into a deep sleep and fell 3 stories to his death below. Paul went down, bent over him, and took him into his arms.
Don't worry, he said, he's alive. Then they all went back upstairs and ate the Lord's Supper together. And Paul continued talking to them until dawn. Then he left. Meanwhile, the young man was taken home unhurt, and everyone was greatly relieved. Paul meets the Ephesian elders. Paul went by land to Assos, where he had arranged for us to join him. And we went ahead by ship. He joined us there, where we sailed together to Mytilene. The next day we passed the island of Chios. The following day we crossed the island of Samos. And a day later we arrived at Miletus. Acts 20, 1 through 16. 1 through 16, Judges 13. Judges 13, this is the birth of Samson. Again, the Israelites did what was evil in the Lord's sight, so the Lord handed them over to the Philistines, who kept them in subjection for 40 years. In those days, a man named Manoah from the tribe of Dan lived in the town of Zorah. His wife was unable to become pregnant, and they had no children. The angel of the Lord appeared to Manoah's wife and said, "Even though you have been unable to have children, you will soon become pregnant and give birth to a son. You must not drink any wine or any other alcoholic drink or eat any forbidden foods. You will become pregnant and give birth to a son, and his hair must never be cut, for he will be dedicated to God as a Nazirite from birth. He will rescue Israel from the Philistines." The woman ran and told her husband, "A man of God appeared to me. He was like one of God's angels, terrifying to look at. I didn't ask where he was from, and he didn't tell me his name, but he told me, 'You will become pregnant and give birth to a son. You must not drink any wine or any other alcoholic drink or eat any forbidden food, for your son will be dedicated to God, a Nazirite, from the moment of his birth until the day of his death.' Then Manoah prayed to the Lord. He said, 'Lord, please let the man of God come back to us again and give us more instruction about this son who is to be born.' God answered his prayers, and the angel of the God appeared once again to his wife as she was sitting in the field. But her husband, Manoah, was not sitting with her in the field. So she ran quickly and told her husband, 'The man who appeared to me the other day is here again.' Manoah ran back with his wife and asked, 'Are you the man who talked to my wife the other day?' 'Yes,' he replied, 'I am.' So Manoah asked him, When your words come true, what kind of rules should govern the boy's life and work?' The angel of the Lord replied, 'Be sure your wife follows the instructions I gave her. She must not eat grapes or raisins, drink any wine or any other alcoholic drink, or eat any forbidden food.' Then Manoah said to the angel of the Lord, 'Please stay here until we can prepare a young goat for you to eat.' 'I will stay,' the angel of the Lord replied, 'but I will not eat anything. However, you may prepare a burnt offering as a sacrifice to the Lord.' Manoah did not realize it was the angel of the Lord. Then Manoah asked the angel of the Lord, 'What is your name? For when all this comes true, we want to honor you.' 'Why do you ask my name?' the angel of the Lord replied. 'You wouldn't understand if I told you.' Then Manoah took a young goat and a grain offering and offered on a rock as a sacrifice to the Lord. And as Manoah and his wife watched, the Lord did amazing things. As the flames from the altar shot up towards the sky, the angel of the Lord ascended in the fire. When Manoah and his wife saw this, they fell with their faces to the ground. The angel did not appear again to Manoah and his wife. Manoah finally realized it was the angel of the Lord, and he said to his wife, 'We will die, for we have seen God.' But his wife said, 'If the Lord were going to kill us, he wouldn't have accepted our burnt offering and grain offering.' He wouldn't have appeared to us and told us this wonderful thing and done these miracles. When our son was born, they named him Samson, and the Lord blessed him as he grew up. And then Manaddin, which was located between the towns of Zor and Eshtaol, the Spirit of the Lord began to take hold of him. Judges 13. Finishing up with Job 41. The Lord's challenge continues. Can you catch a crocodile with a hook or put a noose around its jaw? Can you tie it with a rope, though the nose, or pierce its jaw with a spike? Will it beg you for mercy or implore you for pity? Will it agree to work for you? Can you make it be your slave for life? Can you make it a pet like a bird or give it to your little girls to play with? Will merchants try to buy it? Will they sell it in their shops? Will its hide be hurt by darts, or will its head by a harpoon? If you lay a hand on it, you will never forget the battle that follows, and you will never try it again. No, it is useless to try to capture it. The hunter who attempts it will be thrown down, and since no one dares disturb the crocodile, who dares stands up to me? Who will confront me and remain safe? Everything under heaven is mine. I want to emphasize the tremendous strength in the crocodile's limbs, and throughout its enormous frame. Who can strip off its hide? Who can penetrate its double layer of armor? Who could pry open its jaws? For its teeth are terrible. The overlapping scales on its back make a shield. They are close together, so no air can get between them. They lock together so nothing can penetrate them. When it sneezes, it flashes light. Its eyes are like the red of dawn. Fire and sparks leap from its mouth. Smoke streams from its nostrils like steam from a boiling pot on a fire of dry rushes. Yes, its breath would kindle coals, for flames shoot from its mouth. The tremendous strength in its neck strikes terror over wherever it goes. Its flesh is hard and firm, not soft and fat. Its heart is as hard as a rock, as hard as a millstone. When it rises, the mighty are afraid, gripped by terror. No sword can stop it, no spear, nor dart, nor pointed shaft. To the crocodile, iron is nothing but straw, and bronze is rotten wood. Arrows cannot make it flee. Stones shoot from a sling, or slung shot are ineffective. Sling are ineffective as straw. Clubs do no good, and it laughs at the swish of the javelins. Its belly is covered with scales and sharp as glass. They tear up the ground as it drags through the mud. The crocodile makes the water boil with commotion. It churns the depths. The water glistens in its wake. One would think the sea had turned white. There's nothing else so fearful anywhere on the earth. Of all the creatures, it is the proudest. It is the king of beasts. That's Job 41. So today we read Acts 20, 1 through 16, Judges 13, and Job 41. Stay blessed.